In this lecture, we will combine what we learned until now, and we will remotely connect to our Docker container. For this, I will go to the command palette and search for this add dev container configuration files. I can simply search for it, dev container configuration files. This is the one. And with this, we will create a JSON file that will configure the way we are connecting remotely. I will select the second option from Docker file because I want to open this or to start from a Docker file. And what this option will do will create a new dev container.json file in a dedicated VS Code folder, this dev container. Well, there are all kinds of ways in which we can configure this file. What we care about, because we inside our Docker file, inside our Docker option, we are using a port forwarding option. Maybe I give it a more meaningful name right here. I will say right here, cool image, like this. And I will use this option right here to forward the ports because this is the way we configured it before. I will save this file. And now, if we have this dev container file JSON, I can go to the command palette and search for the command reopen in container. This is the one from dev containers, reopen in container. And now, the great thing about this connection is that I'm developing directly inside my Docker image. This is great for me if I'm learning Docker or if I want to debug something inside my Docker file. Let's see if things are working. And currently, as you can see, here I have a terminal directly inside my Docker file. What can I do? I can start my server, so I'll call npm run start, so or npm start. Alright, and now I can see that my server is running right here at localhost 8080. And if I want to make a request to this, for this I can open a new window in VS Code and try to make an HTTP request. If, for example, from another window I will make an HTTP request to my Docker image, I can send this request. And I'm getting a response right here. And I can even see the logs in real time inside my local terminal from VS Code like this. So this is the way in which I can basically use this VS Code extension to develop inside a Docker image. I can take things even to the next level and maybe even run this as in debug view. If I will go to my launch.json file, if I have right here a debug configuration, I can simply execute my server right here. So here I can say src server.js and I can debug this just as I would debug a file on my local computer. I will run this launch right here, launch main file. I will run this as in debug view. And now I can even toggle breakpoints right here in my server.file. If I put a breakpoint right here and now if for somewhere else I will make a request, then my breakpoint will be hit directly inside my Docker container. As I said, this is great for debugging Docker problems. Well, we saw in this lecture and in this section how we can remotely connect to our Docker images and debug them and do everything we want. With this lecture, we have finished this section about remote development. Of course, as in the other sections, this is just an introduction to how VS Code greatly assists us. You can take your time and explore all the functionality inside VS Code for remote development.